to get the preliminary hearing and actually be charged with the felony, or there's a supervening indictment and it's transferred to superior court. And that's what the first finding under 7.2B1B holds you while they get you formally charged with the felony. Then once you're formally charged, that's why the reading of 7.21 says until further order. And guess what? Further order is it's transferred to a new court, and then the court re-examines bail eligibility and has to find the proof evident again. And that's where she's really confused, and I'm trying to be polite about it, but this is really elementary level stuff, and I'm not trying to diminish or condemn, be condescending, but it's like, did you read the
she hasn't read it. You just filed it today.
No, but I'm saying it's like she's a prosecutor with 14 years experience. This is literally like a matter of routine in every other court except this one apparently. But it's the reason you have to read the plain language. It says until further order. Okay. And then it gives the condition of when you can get a further order. And that's where we're at. Set the hearing, please.
Hold on. So you're criticizing everybody.
I'm trying not to criticize. I'm not slick with I don't have a huge vocabulary, and most of my things I say are very direct. Okay. I'm trying to say in a polite way that I clearly have a right to have this re-examined. Don't tell me I didn't include case law, because the case law is right there. And she's the one telling me I got access to the law library. Okay. And now that I used it and proved what I'm trying to say, now suddenly it can't be both.
Okay, Mr. Myers, when it was filed before, I did have a hearing, and I was going to read all that stuff, but then your lawyer withdrew it. So
because
don't criticize.
Because I feel
so
he made it way too confusing. Okay. Let's just get back to basics. The rule says re-examine. And if I wasn't eligible, why would it say that the court even on its own could do it?
Okay, but you're criticizing everybody.
I'm trying not to criticize.
But
I'm trying to preface what I'm saying by saying, don't take this as criticism. I just speak very directly.
But you have to recall, I set a hearing, and I was going to read all this stuff, but then your lawyer said that he was withdrawing that. So now
to argue it.
All right, now we're resetting this. And I'm inclined to set
Joey, right?
hearing on Friday. I have a trial next week, so I can't do it next week.
Thank you,
sir. My long motion day is filled up.
If I said the wrong name, I apologize.
I think we can argue what the standard review is on his motion for to review release conditions.
It's not that's the nomenclature. The legal nomenclature is re-examine bail eligibility.
Correct.
And when you take the nomenclature into modify release conditions, then you get away with, well, we don't need a hearing because we're just modifying the conditions. When you're re-examining bail eligibility, it has to be an evidentiary hearing where the state needs to provide proof evident, or not the state, but the state needs to present and you need to find.
Okay.
Proof evident or presumption great, which you want.
Ms. Alves, I'm inclined to set a hearing on Friday afternoon. We can argue this. After I've read all the case law.
And Your Honor, the victim's not available Friday, and that was my next question. Was she's the problem? I think we have.
When would work?
Do we have a hearing Friday morning already in here?
I have.
Oh, that was the old one. She's available that morning.
I have my morning calendar on Friday. We could do it the
morning. So if we could do, I don't know, if you have available at 10:30 or 11.
Let's see how big my day is on Friday.
And I'm going to need that, their disclosure ahead of the hearing.
I don't have a particularly big calendar on Friday. I only have two sentencing, so we could probably do it at 10:30 in the morning on Friday?
10:30 would be fine.
Okay. So we'll start the hearing 10:30 on Friday. And Mr. Myers, if we get into something where we do need to take evidence, it may go beyond that. But I know
the last one went over.
Well, yeah. I'll go to noon. We're not going to do it in the afternoon.
I'm saying the last one took 2 days because we got. Right.
I just want to be clear. I think Mr. Myers is thinking that we're having a no bond hearing on Friday.
We are.
We're going to argue about whether you're entitled to it.
No. I'm entitled to it, and we need to have the hearing within 7 days.
We're having a hearing within 7 days, but it's not going to end within 7 days.
We're having the evidentiary hearing on Friday.
We're gonna argue on Friday whether is a right to an evidentiary.
No,
hearing.
we're arguing that right now.
No, because I haven't read your stuff yet.
You don't. There's nothing you need to read. It's if I request it, you give it to me. It's that simple. It's literally a matter of procedure.
I'm not going to be threatened like that.
It's not threatening. It's literally read the rule.
All right.
Thanks,
So
CC.
we're going to hit.
I'm not doing this again, sir. You have to recuse yourself.
No, I'm not.
I'm serious. If you're not going to follow the law, you have to recuse yourself.
I'm
I'm not doing this with you.
all right. Now you're starting to get angry.
Oh, guys. Lane's
You
about
filed
to
this-
blow it.
It's
Listen.
simple. It's procedural.
Uh-oh.
So,
Lane's
Mr.
about to
Myers,
blow it, guys.
Mr. Myers, Mr. Myers, you filed a motion. I haven't been able to read it yet.
By the way,
I'm
this
setting
is
a hearing on
live right
Friday.
now. CC.
Okay, and I'll have a chance to read all of this and read the cases. I don't know if you're right or not. You're saying that you're just you want me to assume that you're right. That's not the way
No,
the
I want you to
adversarial
read
process.
I want you to read the rule of procedures and interpret them plainly.
Okay, I'm setting a hearing on Friday.
What are you going to do on Friday? We're going to argue whether I get a hearing or not?
Yes.
No, that's not the procedure.
Okay.
That's a violation of the Code of Judicial Conduct.
All right. You can file a complaint then.
Oh, you're going to get a lot of them.
Ooh.
All right.
So you're saying that we're not having the bail eligibility hearing within 7 days?
We're gonna argue about whether you're entitled.
No, there's
to
no
one.
arguing.
All right. We're going around in circles. I already said
So
what the hearing.
when is the bail reexamination evidentiary hearing?
We got to see if you're entitled to one.
I'm entitled to one as a matter of right.
We're going in circles. All right.
No,
Matter of
you're
human
doing this
rights
again the
doctrine.
same thing you did to Parvin.
We're going to have a hearing Friday at 10:30.
The
I'll have
evidentiary
read-
hearing.
No. I'll have read all your stuff. I'll have read the cases, and I'll tell you
So
whether
we're
you're
going to have
entitled.
the hearing on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
I have a trial next week.
Well, then how are we going to have it within 7 days?
Mr. Myers, we're going to come back.
Oh, you're going to follow the law or you're going to get off this case.
Nope. I don't like the threats. It's not helping your case.
Is that a threat?
Ooh.
You're threatening me now.
No, you're threatening me. You're telling me if I don't do what you
I'm
want,
telling you need to follow the law.
okay, and I need to read what it is.
You don't know the law?
I don't know all these cases. I don't have every case
It's not
memorized.
case law. It's the rule of procedure.
He
We're
can't
done
help
here.
himself,
We'll
guys.
see you Friday
He
at 10:30
can't
a.m.
help himself.
All right. Until then, we're adjourned.
No,
You're
no, no,
excused.
no, 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 no.
Oh, no.
I'm not coming on to Friday. I'm not.
Oh, uh-oh. It muted, guys. It muted. Uh-oh. Is it going to unmute? If the judge was smart, he would not mute this right now. He would definitely let Lane say whatever he's going to say. Is that really it? Uh-oh. Well, guys, I think that is the end of that. Uh-oh. Yeah, says live at the bottom. Oh, he adjourned it. It won't unmute. Yep. Can we go back at all? Oh, we can't even go backwards. No. This is not working the way I wanted it to work. We were supposed to have a short live stream for 14 minutes. It's not even 10 minutes yet. Oh, darn it. It's live for the next case. Well, we don't care about the next case. At least I don't. I only care about good old Lane. You're absolutely mom. Damn, he pissed the judge off. Yeah, he definitely did piss the judge off, like 100%. Winnipeg, I came in late. Yeah, it's alright, man. I started late, to be fair. I just got off work, just got home. Just got this vertical plugin to finally work. Elizabeth said, just watched it. Lucid is downloading it. I'm sure she is. Lucid is always on the freaking ball. Always. Like, I'll be honest with you. I think at this point, Lucid has to have a team because she's just so quick, so detailed about it. But I'm just joking. I know she doesn't have a team. She does that all by herself. So now we've reached the awkward part of the stream where I thought this would last for 40 minutes. It's 9 minutes. I've got my fan blowing loudly into the mic. Got my kitty over there squatting in her litter box. Lucid, I got it. Just me and my multiple personalities. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with company, keeping it fun. So, all right, guys. Well, I mean, this is a test. I do kind of want to, I don't know, kind of push it out a little bit longer, though. Any ideas on what I should stream? I'm willing to take, help from the audience. That was the thing in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Ask the audience. Or I could phone a friend. Let me know what you guys think. Start entertaining us. Sure, yeah. If you've got the audio for the whole thing, we can go over it for sure. I just stay live and bore everybody till I get it. Might even have to go to the ocean scene, add that into my vertical thing if I can. The problem is I had OBS crash right before all this, so if it happens again, that's probably not going to be too good. So let's go to see if we can add ocean in here. Add media source, ocean. Oh, heck yes, we can. Look at that. We have an ocean right there, guys. Now, I just have to put it in between and sandwich it right here. And then I should be able to extend it out. And look at that. It doesn't cover me up. But it covers up that. And that works for right now, I think. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Bear said, dance, monkey, dance. Dance, monkey, dance, 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 monkey, dance. Dance, monkey, dum 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 dum. Do the meatball bounce. I do that all the time, man. Especially in the shower. Alright, let's see what we can do over here while we got the ocean playing in the background. Let's see what's new. Let's get on the right account too if we can. New tabaroos. Come up over here. Yo, if you guys can hear the box fan in the back, put a 1 in the chat. I put a 1 in the chat. Okay, yeah, you totally can hear the box fan in the back. Sounds like a helicopter's flying in the back. Hold on. Let me turn that shit off. Oh, all right, yeah, there we go. I don't care. I'll sweat my ass off versus having that audio in the background, so... Oh, wow, my mic's picking up a lot of sound. Holy shit. Just kick it down a bit. All right, there we go. All right, guys, so let me see what's going on the streets of YouTube real quick. See what we could use in this live stream test. Now, just so you guys know, unless this video does really good out of nowhere and I get like hundreds of people, this is probably going to get taken down, so... I've got mail, so hold on, guys. I've got mail. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. Doom to doom to doom doom doom. Not virus scanned? Oh god, I hope it's not a virus. So did it download it or not? File cannot be virus scanned. I don't care if it can be virus scanned. I don't think she's going to send me a virus. Just let me fucking download it. The video file is still being processed for playback. She's going to take over my computer. That's fine. You could probably do a better job than I'm doing right now, that's for sure. All right, well, Well, when in doubt, bring the Chilito out. Who's down to watch Chili get trolled? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see Chili get trolled. Shoot, I'm gonna put a 1 in the chat. See if we can change the name of this live stream to Brain Rot Live Test. All right, guys. So I got one for you real quick. Let's go over here. Let's go to Dummy Kruger. And just so you guys know, I got permission to show you all this video. So, talk to DK. He said it was cool. So, just got to find the video now. We got Toothless Josh everywhere. Ooh, we've got some Angry Vet footage too, guys. We do. We have some Angry Vet footage here. Alright, guys, we're 2 years back. I gotta dig for this one. And after we watch that, we could watch one about Chili and Bao even. Okay, here we go. Alright, hold on. We got an ad first.
If you release 5
Then
singles
we'll fix everything
and
after
3
that.
albums over 5 years in DistroKid, the grand total is 1,002.
It's a dangerous job.
Okay. So let's see if we can get this to work right with everything else. And hopefully OBS does not crash. So here we go. Alright, I'm going to do this. That doesn't help at all, actually. That's horrible. Hold on, let me see if I can change this. Hold on, guys. I guess that's the best you're gonna get, honestly, so sorry. Ah, darn it. Did this again. A second ad. I didn't even get a chance to play
No one
the dang
understands me.
video.
If I actually told people how I'm feeling, they would think of me differently. That is a lie that I told myself.
Oh, that's so sad.
You don't want to get physical with me. I'll take you down. I'm not going to get physical. I'll sweep your leg. I'll sweep your leg.
It's fake. It's a fake criminal record. Fake, fake, fake. It's all fake. Everything about me is fake.
Show me your driver's license. You have one?
Is that a requirement?
You have a driver's license.
Are you ordering me to do a thing?
Sir, I have a complaint to turn in. You are impeding the complaint process. You're violating multiple of my civil rights.
Hey everyone. Today's video is part 2 of self-described anarchist James Freeman epically trolling and non-self-described statist Chili DeCastro live on his panel about his nonsensical new police force. Chili rambles on for 30 minutes while James and his tired chat are cracking up. He is finally alerted to being trolled and sulks off back to his dungeon. If you like these videos, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting below. Thanks so much.
Chili does fake videos, Lucid.
I can try to adjust a little bit, but you know, James, I'm all for it, dude. You know, if it was your idea, great. I laid it out in a video called Transparency about a month ago. Pretty clear that not only, James, there's a couple caveats to what you were saying, and if those were your ideas. I never heard them from you before, but I back you up. Yeah, I think you're a thought leader. I think you're a culture leader, and as you know, I got a lot of respect for you.
Did you say cult leader?
The jokes will never stop with Mr. Freeman. But no, I back you up in that assessment. And not only that, James, to expound on that, you know, in the transparency layout that I did a month ago, and the website's almost done, we're going through it. You know, I believe it should be a 360 with a headset where the peace officer, we get rid of the terms law enforcement, we get rid of the term cop and police, because we don't need that. You know, nobody wants thugs on the street who are not going to stop when authority shows up and says, hey, you know, you're being filmed. And with the
wait, you just said 360 cam on a helmet?
Yeah,
dude, that was the Buffalo Shooter's idea.
I did.
Are you the Buffalo Shooter?
Ideas, I just and maybe, you know, you know, James, I know you're funny. I'm deadly serious. I'm 100% serious. And not only does that body cam to expand on your idea.
You know what's funny is I've got a shirt with that exact same print on it. Black t-shirt says, "Why so serious?" It's got Heath Ledger on it. Why so serious? Do you know how I got these scars?
Idea, I suppose it was, which is fine. I never heard it, but okay. So not only that, but the video feed should go to two different agencies, the Montesquieu Agency and the Transparency Agency. And the reason why I called it Montesquieu is because Montesquieu wrote Spirit of Laws, which is what our truly our government is based upon, is checks and balances. And so I think it's an absolutely wonderful idea. And once the headset with the ear,
I cannot. It seems low to me.
Chili. Yeah, Chili, you're saying, like, in my opinion, more centralization.
I'm gonna leave. And I don't want to debate a bunch of people.
I know. I don't want. It's not really a debate. No. Look.
You want me to kick him out, Chili, so you can speak?
I'm literally right between you guys.
I don't want to kick anybody out, but I thought I made the terms pretty clear. If Mr. Freeman wants to talk to me,
here, I'll go ahead and mute him. And I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
I'm sorry, my eyes aren't good. So what I'm saying is listen. You know, unless we have cops on 360 cameras, then they will always cheat. And Mr. Freeman, I know that you've seen this video going around about Struthers. I'm actually breaking it down further today for BCI, and I'm going to show you how the cops are cheating with the body cameras. I'm hot. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. And that's what we're seeing over and over and over again. So I don't care whose idea it was. I don't need big dick credit. Okay, I don't care. What I care is that we actually move to a 360 camera. They cannot turn on or off. It's on constantly. If you have to go to the bathroom, you got to take off the whole gear, put it down, then go to the bathroom, then you come back out. And after a cop shoots someone, there's no turning off your gear. We separate those people, take away their phone, and we see if they're not colluding together, because the video I have coming out shows that these cops and Struthers and James Sheets, they colluded together to hide the body camera, to hide the audio. It's disgusting. They murdered him.
The issue is, you know, once you give someone power, they don't give it up. So it's like you're allowing them to control everything still. And like, I just don't want more centralization. I want decentralization of these ideas.
He doesn't get it. Chili, he doesn't get it.
Let me say something clear. I made it perfectly clear that we should decentralize. It was a center theme of the piece I did a month ago, where I said we should decentralize peace officers. They have to go through 2.5 years of training, which includes 6 months of drone training and 6 months of learning how to use the decentralized system. And then the other 1.5 years is learn the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers, the Spirit of Laws, you know, so they actually understand the foundation of America. And they don't serve to their captain, to their lieutenant, to their chief. They serve the Constitution. Each and every person who's a peace officer has the same power as the one next to them.
Right. And this is the system that I came up with. you know? And I'm with you 100%. Thanks for pushing it forward. I think everyone needs to, I think we need more people worshiping flags as well.
Yes.
When did you come up with this system? Because I laid it out a month ago.
Oh, no. I laid this out like a few years ago, right?
I never saw it.
Breaking
Can
the
you send it
flaw.
to me?
Yeah, we've all come up with this idea, but I'm going to give Lackluster the credit.
I don't care about credit. I care that we all, as you know, if you're truly an activist, then you're for change.
Or impeding the complaint process.
Oops. Wrong button, for sure. But yeah, guys, so basically what happened is Chili, when he first came out, he got trolled by, like, the whole community. And right now, like, 3 people are trolling him at once, basically, so.
I guess statism is not a word that we're going to agree on.
And those 3 people would be number 1, James Freeman, number 2, Breaking the Flaw, and number 3, Chili, because Chili's totally trolling himself right here.
What's that?
I guess we're not going to agree to call it statism then.
Can we call it National Socialism? Like Francis Bellamy, so we can sell more flags?
I think. What do you think,
I mean,
Chili?
is this a joke? I'm busy. Is it joke time, or are we serious?
No. We're dead serious. We need to create.
I'm literally. You can ask Josh. I'm in the middle of an edit where I'm showing how they planted a gun, showing how they murdered a man.
Yeah, no, we are
I'm
dead
jumping on here
serious.
for jokes? Is that what I'm doing?
No, we are dead serious, Chili.
Okay, well then what's
think
some of the bullshit?
you think-
Statism and flagism and all this shit. Do you want to talk about change, or do you want to have a beef? I'm not interested in beefs. I got
Chili,
enough
what's
people who wanna
the
beef
big
with
what's
me
the problem,
just so they
man?
can get their name.
All right, Tony. So Tony said, what the hell is Freeman doing here, bud? Explain it to me real quick. I missed the beginning. Okay, so the beginning of this live stream was supposed to go over the Lane Myers case, but honestly, I got in late and I missed most of it. So while I'm waiting for that audio to download so I can play it on this short live stream or this vertical live stream, whatever you want to call it, we're going over this video from back in the day, like posted 2 years ago, probably happened 3 years ago, where when Chili first came on the whole scene of, oh, I'm delete laws, blah, 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 I'm freaking awesome, he got called out and trolled by a lot of the other big creators, one of them being James Freeman. And in this live stream, James Freeman basically trolls Chili because James knows he's a snake oil salesman.
Name and headlights.
I've been working on this system for a long time, man. What's the problem?
Never
Why are you
seen
getting
it,
upset?
James. Never seen it.
Why are you
Never
getting
seen
upset?
it. Well, I'm upset because of the jokes. I'm not joking. I told Josh I have 5 minutes. And
Okay.
I come on here and it's flagism and statism. James, if you just want to divide the people, you're a thought leader. You got a huge following. You're going to be able to divide us. If that's what you want to do, paint me a statist, make me bad. By the way, there's going to be lots of people who join you in that because I'm an agent of change.
An agent of what?
I'm an agent of change.
Oh, okay.
I'm not for the status quo. We're not, by the way, everybody listening to this, we're not living in rule of law. We're living in tyranny.
Yep.
This isn't rule of law.
Yep.
This isn't proper. This isn't what the founding fathers wrote at all. This is garbage.
Yep. I agree. And we need to get back to what the founders wrote. I mean, I think we agree on that.
Well, what parts?
We need
There's some bad parts too.
our complex system of Constitution and Federalist Papers with 360 cameras and rights enforcers.
In the Constitution, you know that piece of paper that protects us? We need more of that paper. We need more laws on the books and more filings and more IRS agents to collect all the, the new employed people making all these
Dude,
papers.
if you're just gonna joke, I'm just gonna hang up the fucking phone. I'm not interested in this.
It's not a.
All right, guys, so real quick, all right, I'm going to take the ocean down. If you guys want to still watch the whole Chili getting trolled, we can do that. But I'm just saying, I just got the whole Lane Myers audio. So if you guys want to watch Chili, put a 1 in the chat. If you guys want to go back to the Lane Myers video and then go back to Chili afterwards, put a 2 in the chat. Help a brother out. Let me know what you want to do. I need to know. Dismain said, Chili get Terry versus Ohio overturned yet? Such an agent of change. Yeah, no, Dismain. I don't think he did. I do think he did while he was in Ironton try to physically overturn like Terry, like Ironton auditor, you know, for some weird shit. That's about it. So. But yeah, okay, so we've got a 1 from James the Ginger, which I think, if I'm correct, 1 was let's keep making fun of Chili. Which I always wondered, James the Ginger, are you James Freeman, bro? Because James is kind of a ginger too, bro. I'm just saying it would make sense. It would line up. Conspiracy, corrupt government officials. We got a 2 from Tony, a 1 from Small White Wolf, 2 from Carla, Lane from Pressmaster. Bear wants to do me. Get in line, boy. Let's see. So that's 2 2s. Sorry, 3 2s. Okay. Well, you voted twice, Tony. So we've got 2 to 3. No, but I pretend to be him in his live chats. That's a good troll, James. That's a good troll. All right, so I say let's break even. I'm going to do like another 10 minutes of Freeman trolling Chili. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and start the Lane Myers video. And Lucid said, Bear, you can't do that on YouTube unless you label it educational. Very true, Lucid. Facts. Facts.
A joke, Chili. We gotta fund it somehow. How are we gonna fund it?
The name of this channel that I created is called Delete Laws. So him coming on here and saying we need more papers and no laws. If you want to just try to get me upset to insult me, so you get more.
Hey, does anybody know any laws that Delete Laws actually got deleted? I mean, his channel is Delete Laws, but I don't think he's had one law deleted his entire career.
Views on your video, go for it.
I don't think anybody's trying to get you upset.
If you say something like that again, I'm just gonna hang up.
I don't think
he's just gonna hang up.
He's just
gonna hang up.
Me Christy Roan in Struthers, right?
Yeah, yes.
So now
and
you're here fucking
because
joking with
murder
me?
is
You think this
wrong.
a joke?
No, because murder, Chili, murder is wrong, and that's a natural law, and we should be, rejecting that from society. And the police think it's a norm.
Well, once again, I'm in a fucking panel. I don't want to be.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to kick him out? Do you want me to kick him out, Chili?
I just want to talk to one person.
Okay, I'll mute him.
Yes.
I get it.
One person.
I get it.
King James, I'll leave.
Yeah, Chili doesn't want to be on a panel because then all the attention is not on him. Damn it.
I'll leave, King James.
Just so you know, this is how police do it. They separate 3 different voices around you, and then each one talks.
Hey, James the Ginger said, maybe there's a family with the last name Laws. Plot twist. That's hilarious, bro. That. Thank you for that, man. I was having a bad day, but that funny line of thinking, man, it's got me grinning, man, like the frickin' Joker. Why so serious?
To distract you. Yeah. Whether you know it or not, if that happens long enough and you're a coherent person, it'll drive you crazy and you'll snap.
And sorry, guys, my AI avatar seems to be going completely retarded and leaning all the way to the right. So, don't know why. We might have to do an update, though.
Is that what's... So, I didn't mean to drive you crazy. He's gone. It's just you and I. Nobody was trying to drive you crazy.
I'm not ready to have another debate with you until the ideas apparently that I stole from you.
Well, no. I don't think there's anything to debate. I think that we both agree on just about everything. We need, rights enforcers. We need Halo.
I mean, to be fair, Chili did totally steal James's idea. But to be fair, James also stole that idea from Breaking the Flaw. And then Breaking the Flaw, to be fair, he stole that idea from DirectD. So it's like we have this whole slew of ideas that are being stolen, so it's hard to figure out where the idea originated from.
Cams, we need Federalist Papers and we need a Constitution. What's to disagree on? What's to debate? What's that?
What's wrong with the current Constitution?
We need to. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with it. I suppose we're not using it.
You're right.
So I don't know. Do we need a new one or do we go back to the old one?
So now, the website's not done, but I'll tell you what right now that the website guy is fixing right now. When you go into a peace officer, that should be 2.5 years training that we broke up into 6 different month quadrants.
Whoa, what's he talking about when you go into a peace officer? Like, What are you doing, Chili?
The first 6 months, you learn the Bill of Rights, you learn the Constitution, so that you understand it. The next 6 months, you study the philosophy of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, which is going to be John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Montesquieu. Learn the foundation philosophy of it, or you can switch those around, whatever. So there's your year and a half of knowing what the rights are and why they exist. Now, the next year is 6 months of drone training and 6 months of decentralized.
So look, guys, if you guys are going to have the Montague, you got to have the Capulet too. That's all I'm saying, right?
As trailer training. Because, and I say trailer or portable because what we want to do is decentralize peace officers, and they all already know their jobs. So in other words, if you violate the rules, I already know the laws, and I'm on 360 at all.
I don't know why, but Lucid said it's what he thinks about every night while he wears his costumes. And that's the whole thing, is it's just like, did you guys see Chili trying over and over again to get that lady to like come back to his house to try the torture cuffs? I mean, just like talk about just like not getting the hint. Like she's just like, no, I'm not trying to go back to your studio and get handcuffed, you fucking weirdo. And what's funny is that he like shot his shot like 4 or 5 different times, and every single time she's just like, yeah, no. Like, I'm old, I've been around the block, and I know better. Not the first time a young man's asked me to go back to his house and wear handcuffs, okay?
All times. As soon as you put on your headset, the Montesquieu has to light it up and transparency has to light it up, and now your feed is being sent to 2 different people. In the event that Breaking the Flaw and James Freeman get in a fist fight, then we're going to step back and tell you guys to stop. If you guys decide not to stop, we'll bring in the poppers. Guys with these 4-foot pillows that knock you silly, like football pads almost.
Yep.
And then eventually we're going to get 1 transparency officer speaking. 1.
Oh,
and
God.
saying, please stop. Not, show me your hands, show me your hands. That doesn't work. It only escalates things.
Yeah, it's got to be please stop.
Please stop.
Yep.
And if you don't stop, I inform you if I'm the transparency officer. And
One in the chat if any of you guys have seen Lil Nicky with Adam Sandler. Because whenever Chili talks about having having guys ready with pillows, it makes me think about when Nicky fights Adrian at the end, and he's like, I'm sleeping, or am I?
I have on the 360, I don't even have a radio to call for backup because the 2 agencies can see what I need. And meanwhile, while you and Breaking the Flaw are fighting, a drone flies overhead and lights.
Lucid said, interesting, poppers. Yeah, it's just like, who would have thought that to get people to stop committing crimes, you just come in and you give them jalapeno poppers. Make everything okay.
You up. And I say, hey guys, you got to stop. The judge is watching. And if you
The real question here is, who doesn't like jalapeno poppers? And I'll tell you guys, fucking psychos.
guys are barbarians, we don't want you on the street anyway. We want to get you. Now, here's what happens when you get arrested. You get arrested, the poppers come in and pop you silly because that's the game they play. The game they play is nets and poppers.
Yep.
Now, once you're actually subdued, you don't go to a dungeon. You go to one of the portables that is driven around to where you are with a big 8-foot by 8-foot door, and if we have to force you in there with Velcro straps, we will. But then we're going to let you cool down and let's see if you're criminally insane. Now we're going to examine you to see if you're a nutball or that guy just slept with your girlfriend. Okay, now I understand what really happened. This guy's not a nutball. And you should be hitting remorse by this point.
Dude, where did that come from? He's just like, yeah, you'll find this out, or find out if that dude slept with your girlfriend. It's like, dude, Chili, are you like just adding personal shit from your own life, like in your rants? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bud?
We actually invest in the human beings here.
Oh no, Google nitrite poppers. Oh God, Lucid.
You have to get educated.
Scaring me over here.
You're going to be screwed because then there is the
okay.
Because you're criminally insane and you don't realize that you don't know enough math and you don't know enough language to actually have a coherent thought in your mind. A very simple equation I give. Y equals 6, x equals 3. Y minus x equals
what
consequences.
The fuck? It says nitrite poppers are inhalant drugs containing alkali nitrates. They are associated with several health risks and dangers. What? Never even heard of this. Poppers are recreational drugs. When fumes from these substances are inhaled. Oh, okay, I get it. Like inhaling whippets or like those CO2 cartridges. Okay.
If you can't do that equation in your mind, according to linguists and mathematicians, then you can't contemplate what consequences are.
That does sound. Yeah, that's a good equation.
Are you a full stack marketer spending all day switching between platforms? Now with SEMrush toolkits, no more running from one app to the next. You pick.
I love you, buddy. I love you. You're hilarious.
I know.
So I can take the jokes coming from one way, but then when I get another one, then I get pissed.
No,
So,
I'm not joking. I mean, you got some great ideas here.
Solid ideas, James. And also, what this does, though, just I know that you called me a.
Lucid said, poppers are really common in the gay community. Just saying.
We had that debate already. What this does is decentralize peace officers, so they're all assigned to their different portables or trailers all around the cities based on population need. That means if you live out in the boonies, there's going to be someone who can get to you very quickly if you actually need help because your rights are being violated. And what this also does is when you centralize power, absolute power corrupts absolutely. You decentralize those people. And they're always on 360, and the two agencies watching, the TVs are on multiple levels of the building.
I'll tell you what, guys, we just heard Tiffany drop that same line yesterday. It's good to know that Brian's getting his watch hours up, man. Like, somebody's watching his videos, thank God.
So if you did something illegally and I saw it on the second floor, I guarantee you someone on the second, fourth, fifth, eighth, or 10th floor also saw it. And now you'll be dealt with. Also, because we break up peace officers into 6 different color divisions, we keep the tribalism alive of competition. And now what will happen
6
on your
different
app,
color divisions.
Right. So when you decentralize peace officers, you put them in different color divisions, and all different divisions have drones on them. So you have competitions for the best drone flyer. You have the competition for the best transparency peace officer who talks somebody down. You have the yellow team #1 guy, and then you have the 6 team who the #1 guy was. And peace officers get bonuses every quarter depending on who used the least amount of violence. Who did the best talk down where someone was going to kill themselves and they took the chance and walked in that room.
And just so you guys know, we've got about 3 minutes left on this before we go back to the Lame Myers court case, and then we'll kick it back over to here. So,
where the guy had a gun and talked him down. You know, we don't have that right now because cops are scum, and that's how we see them. Whereas transparency peace officers, all of a sudden what will happen is we'll begin to
the
celebrate
popper's popping him good.
And that, you and I, James, we shouldn't have a job. This should not be our job. We have this job because it's a needed necessity in the community. That we need people to film these dirty pigs because what they're doing, as you guys are from
Hold up.
videos,
Sorry, I rarely interrupt you, but
Chili, you are comedy gold. You are too dumb
Super
for
chat.
words.
Sorry, when super chats come through, I gotta let them read out. You know, when people donate, I know you were on a roll there, but you know, when people, at least when I'm out in person, you know, I don't stop everything for the super chat. But in the office, it can be done. So, were you able to hear it or no?
You go ahead and read it, and then I'll tell you my position on super chats.
No, you can go on, man. I don't think it needs to be read. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This morning I woke up and one of my contributors had sent me some money because I had to hole up here for the next few days to get this. Got to just dial this in for BCI so they can see that it was murder. And so what I've told that person who donates to me and every person who donates to me, you'll get nothing back from me.
Yeah.
You'll get my truth, my transparency, and my vision and my drive. But I won't give any kickbacks. I won't give any favors. I won't talk about a subject that you want to talk about. I won't do anything for you as a person. You're welcome to donate. Thank you so much for helping me out. I give you my word, I will never stop. Because this system is broken and it's killing people, and the state and the government is working with people. That's the definition of statism. So people who donate to me, God bless you, thank you so much. I won't stop my drive. I won't stop anything I'm doing. I won't assist you in any way.
But we kind of threw you off here. I want you to go back to talking about the system that you're building.
I was going to wait until my website was done. But the whole idea is this: when you go through 2.5 years of school to become a transparency peace officer, you learn how to use your headset. You learn the constitutionality of the Bill of Rights. We learn the foundation of law, the philosophy of law. Then you spend a year learning how the portables or the double-deck busters that drive around the city that are
I'm going to fast forward a couple times here because he literally just talks to himself while barely stopping to breathe.
Oh, wow. Dang. Kind of seems like he's done that before for sure, where he just keeps talking and talking and talking and talking and talking.
Leave him alone. You go up to a guy who's walking across the street on a red light, and you hear from the transparency agent says, no, that's not your job. Your job is to protect rights. The guy's walking across
Yeah, we see he's muted,
now,
which makes sense.
If he traffic jam because he ran in the street and there's car accidents and things like that, then you have to deal with the guy. Then he gets a copy of the video immediately. What happens with the decentralized color-coded system with the drones? No more car chases. No more. You steal a car, I call, man, my van just got stolen. Here's my license plate. Yellow sector 42.
No more.
Drones up. We got eyes on it. Great. Let them go. Because now what's going to happen is yellow sector 41 checking off. Yellow sector 40 checking off. We go all the way to red sector 14. And the
Red sector 14. Red sector 14.
And then when that guy parks, a drone that's right in front of him and says, sir, a transparency bus will be here in a moment. You're welcome to run. I would stay here if I were you. Because you've broken the law. And now the reason why that man broke the law becomes abundantly important.
Hello?
Why did he break the law? Why did he steal that car?
Hello?
We're not doing that. We're just putting when you're a hammer, everything's a nail.
Hello?
And that's what we're doing in our country. Did you know right now, James, they're trying to put me in jail in Ironton, Ohio?
Yo, thanks,
They're trying
Faith.
to change
It's
my
funny
bond
'cause it's so
agreement
crazy.
when they sent the cops to the city council meeting where I was, and I couldn't be within 100 feet of them. Then the cops to the
It's
office
funny
where I
'cause
already
it's
announced
so
the places
crazy.
I was going, the same cops that the cops said you have to stay, the judge said you have to stay 100 feet away from, and then they said, well, you violated the terms of your bond.
Should I mute him?
And they want to put me in jail.
And
They're
then we'll
trying to
just
put me in
unmute
jail.
him
But what good does that do society?
When we see his mouth stop
Am I a
moving?
danger to anybody? Have I hurt anybody? Have I threatened anybody?
What
But
about
that's
the
not
yellow
what the
light?
state is about.
Should
That's
I mute him and
statism.
unmute him
Give
when
all
his
the
mouth
power to the
stops
state.
moving?
I'm against that. We have one judge who you can't see the recordings in the chambers. You can't see the transparency in court. It's one of the #1 principles of the transparency new model. All courts we get cameras, all of them. If there's witnesses in there or jury members in there that have to be protected,
How do I mute this?
You have to alter your audio. You can step right outside. There's a Montesquieu agent right there. It
I think
says,
if I
did
mute him,
you
though, it'll
record
mute
it?
his mic
Did you
and he'll
video
see
or
on his
audio?
end
I
that he's
videoed.
muted.
Great. Let me see your tape. The Montesquieu agent then edits it and gives it back to you. There you go. Now there's no juries in there.
This is
There's
dead
no person's
serious,
date of
though,
birth or
guys.
their
Yo,
social
Beth,
security
thank
number.
you.
Why can't we record
Thank you,
our own
Beth Meadows.
trials now
5
that we
minutes
have
are
the
up.
technology? We're living in tyranny, brother. This isn't rule of law. This isn't the United States of America. This is garbage. This is absolute garbage. And so, the whole idea is if you put me in jail, well, then you silence me. Why? I'm pointing out that BCI didn't do their job. I've had I've had these body cams for less than a week.
5
What
minutes
about
are
the
up.
dash cams? Why can't we see those? Oh, because they're going to show that they planted the gun.
Dude, you are live on my channel.
That's where we should
Chili
focus
is
our energy,
speaking,
James.
and he
I'm
doesn't
not
even know
against you,
that
man.
we
You have the
we're
wrong
muted,
idea
and we're
that
not
I'm a
even listening
statist.
to
I'm
him.
not a statist at all.
Okay, well, listen,
Decentralizing
I
peace
actually have
officers
San Joaquin
changes
Valley
the game.
on the line
It
with
makes
us
the
right
world
now,
a better
so-
place.
Oh.
And then what happened?
What the fuck, dude? That's hilarious, bro. I was literally just talking to Ruff the other day, and I was talking to him about this video. And he never told me that he actually called James during the middle of him getting trolled by Chili. Like, Ruff, bro, I just told you about this video, and you didn't tell me you called James in between this and was like, yo, dude, let's really fuck with him. That makes us even better now, guys. We're going to go like another 2 minutes before we go back to Lane.
Are you watching my live stream on the Fake News Network?
Captain, lieutenant, none of that.
Dude,
none of that.
I'm muted.
That's all
He's still
garbage
rambling on
created
for
by
5
August
minutes. I'm
Vollmer,
talking to you on the phone while I'm muted on the whole
Read his
stream.
policeman handbook from
He's still
29 or
rambling
31.
on.
I don't remember the. I didn't even read the book.
But you guys are live too, by the way. You guys are live
So,
too.
it
I
is
just
what
wanted to
it
let
is.
you know
That's
that.
what
Go
created
check it
the
out.
militarized system of policing after, guess what?
I'm going to try and keep him
Prohibition.
rambling as long as I can. I think I can do 2 hours.
What happens when Sector White attacks Sector Black? The Sector Wars. That's what.
All right, guys, bye.
1933 when Prohibition ended, we had 200,000 people. What happened? You couldn't arrest the cops for being the biggest alcohol swindler. You couldn't kill the cops for being the biggest alcohol swindlers in America. You had to put them in a dungeon. And Roy Olmsted case is a prime example of that. Him and 12 little piggies all went to jail for bootlegging alcohol. They were the biggest alcohol
What happens
runners.
when
That's
Sector
how the
White
prison
attacks
industrial
Sector
complex
Black?
was created because they
The
couldn't
Sector
hang
Wars.
and lynch and
That's
kill
what.
cops.
Thanks, no
That's
faith.
why it was created. And then, by the way, the Wickersham Commission.
I keep thinking, like, at some point he's gonna, like, stop, and I'm gonna have to say something to keep him going.
Right? It's,
But I don't even have to do anything to keep him going.
Down on prohibition.
He doesn't
Arrest more
stop.
people.
We don't stop.
That's statism.
We
I
don't.
don't
We
have
don't
to
stop.
unmute.
I'm against it entirely. So, the transparency, James,
See,
if you
I
haven't
keep
seen the video
thinking,
called Transparency,
I'm gonna have to unmute
you
and
might
say something to
actually
keep him
enjoy
going.
it because I took a
What's up,
week
San
and I
Joaquin?
worked 20 hours a day, pulled 3 all-nighters to get the graphics done to try to
He's
show
rambling on,
what
San
a
Joaquin,
decentralized
and he
police
doesn't know that
officer
I'm
system would
muted,
be.
and
when
we're
you
just
get
sitting
rid
here
of
talking and
lieutenant
waiting for him
captain
to
and corporal
finish.
and all that garbage, when you get rid of all the
Black
guns and the vest and the G.I. Joe loser
And I
look,
keep thinking
and we
I'm gonna
invest in a
that I'm
heart
gonna
rate
need to
monitor and
unmute.
All right, guys. So we definitely went way over what I said I would go for the rest of that Chili live stream, which we will get back to, I promise. But we're gonna get to this audio for Lane Myers. So give me one quick moment. Where did it go? Okay, here we go.
025-1454. This is a status conference regarding the upcoming trial as to both matters. Parties' appearances will start with the state.
Rachel Stiles for the state, and the victim is present.
Lane Myers.
Okay.
On behalf of myself.
All right. And great. So when we were last here on the newer case number, we had set trial for July 21st, which I have to move to the 22nd because my trial start date is on a Tuesday. And then we consolidated the cases but hadn't confirmed the trial date as to the first matter. And Mr. Myers, you said you were going to file a motion to remove me for cause.
Yeah, well, what happened is that they still didn't, so, I'm supposed to get envelopes when I request them, so I went back to the jail thinking I was gonna have an envelope waiting for me to send the motion in, and I just got the envelope on Friday, so it's kinda hard to do anything when you request these envelopes like they said I can request, and it takes, I requested it on the 17th. They confirmed I would get an envelope the morning of the hearing, that's why I was like, oh, when I get back, I'm gonna file it, and then they finally gave me the envelope, what was that, the 9th, May 9th, so it was hard to do it within 10 days. But I have a bond motion that I just filed.
Okay, I want to talk about the trial date because that's what we're here for. Ms. Stiles, I take it you still want to set them together and starting on July 22nd?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to move the trial date from the 21st to the 22nd because the 22nd is my start date, 10:30 a.m., and that's as to both CR numbers are consolidated for purposes of trial. And we're still, I have that set as a 1 week. Well, Mr. Resnick, I understand that works with your schedule too.
I'm looking right now, Judge. The 22nd of July?
Yeah.
Does that leave enough time for sentencing within the speedy trial?
Sentencing, it's only if you're convicted.
Well, it's still got to be within the speedy trial.
No, it's just when the trial starts.
Well, you have to be sentenced within the 150 days. That's case law. That's Supreme Court case law.
All right, you can file a motion on that. Mr. Resnick?
Free the 22nd.
Okay, so trials started on the 22nd at 10:30 a.m. And let's see if we have a status conference right before that.
Let me see what I've been doing.
Yeah, let's set a final status conference the week before. So we'll have a status conference on Monday, July 14th. And again, it is a firm trial date. I'll extend it based on extraordinary circumstances. If either side files motions, please secure hearing time for my judicial assistant. And the deadlines are those set forth the rules of criminal procedure. All right. And did we address the questionnaire before?
No, the Mr. Johnson. I mean, not Mr. Johnson. What was his name? McDonald, right? The judge that when you were missing.
Right.
Of course, I didn't find out about it till I got this big file from Parvin the other day. When he was here and we did the first July 21st, he said something about he wanted it within 60 days or something. The questionnaire, you know. And I just found that out like last Wednesday. But he said that on April 15th, so nobody even informed me of that until I read it myself in the minutes.
The question is, do you want to use the jury questionnaire?
And Your Honor, we're not asking for a questionnaire.
Okay. Mr. Resnick, would want to advise him?
Did you want this status conference on the calendar?
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, let's do it on the morning calendar.
Consider which jurors you want, which jurors to go. But if you don't want to use a time frame, you have to request it. So
The 60 days.
yeah.
Okay. So are you asking, do I want to do it?
Do you want a questionnaire?
Yes.
Okay. So defendant having requested a questionnaire, proposed questions we do on June 5th.
And Your Honor, can I just raise one issue with that?
Yes.
My concern for having a questionnaire in this case is if they learn that if we're putting any questions in there that alert people that to his name and that it's a social media type case, that essentially what they'll go do is they will go look. And I think because everything is online in this case, that we run the risk that to the jury pool, which is why I would have concerns about a questionnaire in this particular case.
Mr. Myers, your response?
Even the case law, so if we reverse that, I would not be able to, I've read the case law about child publicity and all that. I would not be able to claim prejudice if people saw it on the news because if it's on the news, it is what it is. And I've read all the case law about, because I was looking at, can I change the trial to a different county and all this because people might know about my channel and all this. And the law is clear, they need to prove prejudice. They can't just request it. They can do that in a motion later or something because unless they can show for sure that their case is being prejudiced, just the fact that it's on the news isn't enough prejudice, and it's not even on the news. It's my own channel, so it's like.
Well, I think there's a higher risk, not just on the news, but they could go to your channel. Your channel's publicly available. I take it.
Yeah, because it's First Amendment. They have the right, but there's nothing stopping them from doing that anyways. Once they know that they're my juror on the day 2 of the case.
The judge goes, "Hey, your channel's First Amendment," and he kind of starts to mumble over his words. Did you guys pick that up right there? Why did Lane mumble over his words like that? It's kind of weird. Let's go back just a wee bit and listen to it again.
It's on the news. Isn't enough prejudice, and it's not even on the news. It's my own channel, so it's like.
Well, I think there's a higher risk, not just on the news, but they could go to your channel. Your channel's publicly available. I take it.
Publicly available.
Yeah, because it's First Amendment. They have the.
It's First Amendment.
There's nothing stopping them from doing that anyways. Once they know that they're my juror on the day 2 of the case. After the first day, they could go and read it, which I'm going to encourage them to do.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Well, I'm gonna.
And this is just.
Mr. Myers, you can't do that.
Well, I'm gonna.
Well, I'm not going to let you. Hold on. I'm not going to let you represent yourself if you start talking like that.
Okay, I get what
you can't. One of the main rules of a trial is you can't go to the event location, and that's kind of what this is. So, for example, let's say that it was a shooting in a parking lot. the jurors can't go to that parking lot and look at where the shooting.
They're not supposed to do research. I know.
Correct.
I know.
And that would include looking at your channel.
Would that include you reading the transcript of the grand jury to do the slap motion when it's not part of the record?
That has nothing to do with what the jury hears. They wouldn't.
Well, you're only supposed to stick to the facts in the record too.
I did.
No, the grand jury transcript's not part of the record.
It is.
You told me it's not.
No, I didn't say that. I said I normally don't get it. But remember, you reminded me, and I had requested it to read it in that case. So it is part of the record. If you're convicted and it goes to the Court of Appeals, the transcript is part of what goes to the Court of Appeals.
Because I thought there was no independent fact-finding.
I didn't. It's part of the record.
I'm saying for the jury either. You're saying also. You're saying the jury could go to my channel and independent fact-find.
No, they can't. That's what I'm saying. They
the concern is, I'm saying the concern that we're addressing right now that she brought up is that they could do that. There's a possibility.
If they know about your case, right.
Well, I'm going to make sure they do because I'm going to put billboards up around town.
All right.
And Your Honor, just to further that, it's not just about Mr. Myers' page. It's also because there's a lot of other people on YouTube, both for and against Mr. Myers. And so I would be concerned that they would go not just find information in support of him, but that they could find negative information where when they come in and they're actually in front of the court admonishes them that they're not allowed to go look for that information, where they may not realize that they're not allowed to look for it, just getting the information ahead of time in a questionnaire.
I don't feel prejudiced. I don't see why they would either. They should.
Hold on just a minute, Mr. Myers. Let me look at the rule on case-specific written questionnaires. So the first sentence of Rule 18.5C, unless the court orders otherwise, so I can order that there's no questionnaire. I think I'm going to follow that in this case. I am concerned about if they know about the case, that they might do research not knowing that they're not supposed to do research. So I'm going to deny a request for a questionnaire in this case. There's no motion pending before me on pretrial publicity. There's no gag order in place.
So no questionnaire?
No questionnaire. I'm concerned about Mr. Myers' threat to try to publicize this case. What's the state's position on that?
Your Honor, I hadn't been concerned about that since Mr. Myers, because there was early on, we had discussed the fact that he was doing the live streams from the jail, and that was a concern. And then he agreed to not be doing that, which, as far as I know, he's abided by that. He has not been doing that. So I would hope if the court just advises him not to engage in that behavior, that he would be willing to follow that. But I do have concerns with him raising it now, saying that he wants to do that. I will note that we've been engaged and we've started a discussion of settling the case. And I can tell you that that would definitely have ramifications if he's doing things to harm his case with that. But
harm the case, not probably harming his case.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I mean.
Hold on.
No, it's there's two sides to this. I
guess what the state is saying, if you start engaging in that behavior, they'd be less willing to try to offer you a pay.
We already went over this rule 3.6, child publicity. I can talk about my case publicly. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
I can definitely issue a gag order.
Well, then do it.
Well, I don't want to do that if I don't have to.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's either there's a gag order or I can talk about my case publicly.
Your Honor, and when I'm referencing that, I'm referencing more of the things where if he's engaging in the same type of behavior that got him here today, that led to these criminal charges, if that started up again, that would then interfere with
That's directed towards the victims.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. So that's where I would be concerned if he's doing things like that, that's causing further harm.
That's a crime.
To the victim in this case, then that would obviously impede settlement. If he's just doing things that's trying to harm if there's things that he's doing that seems to be interfering with his making sure there's a fair trial in this case with undue pretrial publicity, where then we're going to have difficulty finding a fair jury either for the state or for Mr. Myers, then I think we have other issues that are concerning because, like I said, the information that's out there in the public right now is not just all supportive of Mr. Myers. He also has, a camp that's also against Mr. Myers, and I want to make sure that we're not getting where we have a jury.
Yep, believe it or not, there are people like me out there who are like, hey, this Lane Myers guy, man, he's a little off. He seems very confident, but his actions don't match his words. And same guy who goes, oh, someone shot at me through my window, but even the police report says that they think it's rocks. What would you know? Oh, no. Jeremy called it.
Pool that's being influenced improperly by, any type of publicity on the social media that's happening, that we're going to have difficulties with that. So, I'm concerned.
Are the police informed of that information if there's some reason to believe that he would be trying to do something to taint the jury pool, that you would be made aware of that and you could file a motion at that time?
So we do different things where he gets monitored to make sure, and then obviously because he's laughing about that. But as far as the people that are involved with YouTubers, we know what's happening with their channels. The channels are being monitored. He's in jail. He has limited privacy. And so things like that are monitored. We're not sitting there listening to it day in, day out, because we have other things to do with our lives. But it is something that we're looking into. So if, he's making indications he's going to be doing that, obviously we'll be paying attention to that more to make sure that that's not happening. And if we get a concern like that, then I will file something with the court to raise it to the court's attention.
All right. So I think we'll stick with the current orders that Mr. Myers should not engage in conduct towards a victim that could be considered harassing. If you engage in pretrial publicity to try to taint the jury pool, the state can file a motion. We'll address it at that time. Okay?
That's what I wanted. I think it got misconstrued what I was saying. I'm not going to be doing anything towards the victim. That's a crime. And I'm talking about, why can't I do an interview with K-Gun 9 and put myself on the news? I'm the one that has to weigh the pretrial publicity, prejudicing myself. And do you hear them saying that there's people that are against me? So are you going to gag order them? No, you're going to so I can't talk about my case in a positive or in a way that I feel representative of the case, but the people that are against me could make videos and taint the jury pool. And I'm glad you didn't put the, I'm not, like you said, take the win, but I mean, let's keep the record here. So she wants to, I can say, but she has no control over the negative publicity against me, which would then harm me and harm the jury pool and all.
And Lucid made a very good point. He finally says the victim instead of the alleged victim, which is what he's been saying for past however long.
That which they would be perfectly fine with.
Right, so I'm not issuing any orders right now.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'm just limited to what we talked about before. You're not engaged.
So can we clearly delineate what you're saying here, because it kind of got twisted around. I said I'm going to put up billboards about going to my channel, but that's for publicity, to get views, to get money off the views, off the videos, to pay for commissary and legal fees and stuff, which is my right. Now, what I think she turned that into was me trying to harm the jury pool or something. Well, not everybody's going to see it, and most of all, why would I not be allowed to talk about my case? If anything, they should be glad that I talk about my case, because then I might incriminate myself.
So, Mr. Myers, I'm not going to issue any orders on that today. I'm
allowed to talk about it.
I'm not.
I don't want to do something that is wrong. You get what I'm trying to say?
I can't sit down a bunch of rules as to what's allowed and not without knowing the context. So
I don't want to break any rule. That's what I'm trying to say. Is I want to stay within the bounds of fair play, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure that because I'm the type of person that I need clear, clear.
I would suggest that you talk to Ms. Resnick maybe about that, what you think is acceptable. I'm not trying to put you off, Mr. Myers. I just don't want to prejudge the matter without a record before me, and it'd be too hard, I think, to try to set a bunch of rules on that. Mr. Resnick?
Just so I understand it, Judge, if the court's saying that he is retaining his First Amendment rights to talk about the case, he cannot talk about the victim. And I guess perhaps what we could do is, if Mr. Myers has some content that he is worried about, we could come to the court and say, here's what he's planning on doing, and we can run it by, and you guys can decide whether or not it runs
Could do
afoul
that.
of the
And he
First
mentioned,
Amendment.
this
Maybe
before,
that'll
Mr. Resnick, you were on the case, that he did mention the rules on pretrial publicity, the rules of professional conduct, and there are rules in there that you can correct misinformation and do certain things. That's why I don't want to prejudge this, because
Fair enough.
I couldn't think of every scenario, and I would make a mistake if I did
Fair
that.
enough. So I think what Mr. Myers will do, if I understand Lane correctly, is he'll put his stuff together, and if there's content that's questionable, we'll run it by the court first.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anything else we need to address today?
The bond motion, set a hearing within 7 days.
Yeah, Lucid, I don't think he knows how expensive that shit is either. Paying for billboards for commissionary, that's crazy.
Re-examination. And the victim thing doesn't come into it because they had the last one within 3 days. But even so, then that's next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
I thought we did have a hearing before.
No, Parvin filed the motion. You were supposed to give us a re-examination hearing within 7 days. Somehow it turned into this convoluted, the state got to respond, you had to do research. That's not how this works. This is a procedural, procedural thing. This isn't a dispositive motion. You file the motion under Rule 7.4C when it gets transferred to a new court, which it clearly has. And then the standard of review, as you can see in here, I've included all the relevant case law, which Parvin's motion was trash, so it kind of took you guys out in the left field. You turned 1 + 1 into quantum physics, but let's get back to 1 + 1. 1 + 1 is case was transferred, Rule 7.4C, re-examination, bail eligibility when you're not eligible for bail as a matter of a right. That means that you have to get the full evidentiary hearing to get Florida due process. That controlling case law is Seguro versus Kananen. And from Dominguez versus Metcalf, you know that you have to interpret the rules in the plain language. And the plain language is when the case is transferred, you get a bail re-examination hearing, and you guys are questioning, oh, we don't want to go over Miller's shoulder and all that. Well, actually, that's exactly what you're required to do because it's supposed to be de novo. That's Mendez versus Robertson. The standard of review for re-examination, the plain meaning of re-examination is renew.
Oh, slow down.
Oh, slow down. I thought you said sit down. Sorry. And so, I got it all right here, all the controlling case law. It's very clear that I should have already had a hearing within 7 days. But,
Yeah, Small White Wolf, I don't think his neighbors like him that much.
The law and give me my due process because
it's my opinion.
This has already been taken to the appeals court and Supreme Court. And
Okay, let me, hold on.
2007.
Mr. Myers, hold on. Mr. Myers,
Yep.
at the hearing on April 21st, I had taken that motion under advisement, but then your lawyer withdrew it.
Yeah, no, I know, I'm not, and that's what I'm saying. I'm conceding that, I'm saying both sides of it. Like, initially when it was filed, you should have just immediately, it's like kind of like not a 10.1, but a 10.2 when you change as a matter of right. It's like, it's a motion, but it's really like a notice, but it's worded as a motion, but it's like the state doesn't get to respond.
Okay.
And so what I'm trying to say is like in a 10.2 as a matter of right motion, I filed the defendant, either party files the rule 10.2 and it's boom, it's a matter of procedure. The motion gets filed, the wheels start turning. This is the same with the re-examined bail eligibility pursuant to 7.4C, because and the quickest way to determine that is the court can do it on its own, so it doesn't need to be fully briefed because if the court did it on its own, neither party would get to brief anyways. And so it's a procedural thing. It's you could have and so I'm not trying to say both sides here. Like I'm not trying to criticize you because like I said, when it was initially filed, you could only the parties are supposed to give you a roadmap. You're the judge. We give you the roadmap to the destination. And Parvin's motion didn't. He took you way out in the left field, which then took Rachel way out in the left, even way farther out in the left field, which then had you scratching your head going, what are we even talking about here? I need to go review it more and that kind of thing. Well, I just want to get back to basics. The rules of procedure are very, very clear. 7.4C. on motion or its own, the court may re-examine bail eligibility. When you're not eligible for bail as a matter of right, that means you have to get the full evidentiary hearing every time to get due process. That's not for everybody, because if you're not bailable as a matter of right, if you're bailable as a matter of right, it's a modification hearing. It's a modify the conditions of release because you're bailable as a matter of right, so we're just going to modify. When you're not bailable as a matter of right, you're determining eligibility of bail. So you have to examine whether I'm eligible or not, which there's a limited, 4 or 5 reasons, sexual conduct, the reasons. But then there's also the felony one. And so because I'm not bailable, because, at the initial appearance, I was found to not be bailable as a matter of right.
Mm-hmm.
That means then to then review that when I'm transferred to another court, the standard of that review is de novo, because re-examine means, renew again, the court is found. Supreme Court of Arizona and the Court of Appeals has upheld this many times. And then when you're not bailable as a matter of right, what is the procedure? Oh, it's re-examine means bail eligibility. Well, we need to, each time you look at it, well, I only get one if it's transferred. This is my one chance. So you need to hold that evidentiary hearing again. It's not the same as the modification thing where the state would have you doing evidentiary hearings every time somebody wanted to take it from 250 to 200, that kind of thing. This is a very limited set of circumstances which require the full evidentiary hearing and the state to prove their burden. And furthermore, the charges that I was arrested on initially in the initial bail eligibility, I was one of those the grand jury found was a misdemeanor. So now it's those 2 that we had with Miller and a different one that is felony that they indicted me on. So that felony, that third felony of that, it was only 2 at the first. Now we'd have to re-examine, and you need to find, determine if there's proof evident on a new charge that wasn't included in that hearing, which is even more of a reason it needs to be a full evidentiary hearing. But I don't need to argue for it to be, it's statutorily, not statutory, but procedurally, and there's controlling case law, because after 2007, they clarified that because the Federal Bail Reform Act, there's, I have it all in here. It's not really up for debate. It's just set the hearing within 7 days, and the only debate is, do you find proof evident or not?
So the 7 days I see under 7.4C3, but that's when the motion's filed by the state.
No, it's not. You got to read the case law. Don't just gaslight me and not read my motion. I have it right in here where there's 2 case laws. See, you're doing it again, the same thing you did in Dominguez versus Martinez. You're making up your own version of the rules of procedure. And the court told you to follow the rules as they're written. And if you read the controlling case law, Segura versus Kanunen, it's right in front of your face, sitting on the desk. My motion tells you Rule 7.4 was amended to read essentially as in the proposed rules, providing that a motion involving
slow down.
Whether a defendant shall be held without bail shall be held on the record as soon as practicable, but not later than 7 days after the filing of the motion. And then it goes again right here, to the extent Simpson holds that due process requires a hearing at which the defendant has the right to counsel and the right to cross-examine and offer evidence, reaffirm its holding. That was in 2007. Or 2008, after it was modified in 2007. The stuff that Ms. Stiles and Parvin were arguing were before 2007, and now there's a plain reading now. It's not if a state files a motion. It's bail eligibility hearings have to be held within 7 days. The Rule 3 says if the state files it, they need not allege new facts. You're putting it all together, but it's not surplusage. It's the same thing you did before when you said that transferred into a court and new material facts. That's not the rule. The relevant part of 7.4 provides that any person remaining in custody may move for re-examination of the conditions of release whenever the case is transferred to a different court. That's Mendez versus Robertson. That's the Court of Appeals clarifying it's not when it's transferred and the allegation of new material facts. It's when it's transferred or the material facts. And that's right here, included in the motion. It's axiomatic that when a court is asked to re-examine release conditions, the review must be de novo. Rule 7.4 requires the respondent judge to examine anew the conditions. Moreover, both situations in which a court may re-examine a release order, a transfer to a new court, or new information appear in the same sentence of the rule, providing 2 instances in which the court may look at the order anew. We don't believe the Supreme Court intended different standards of review to be applied to the 2 circumstances listed in this rule. And then it continues in that, in R.E. Maricopa County, they quote that, and Mendez v. Robinson. Division 1 of this court held that the transfer of a juvenile to Superior Court for prosecution as adult is a transfer to a different court. So a transfer to a different court in and of itself triggers the re-examination of bail eligibility. And because I'm not bailable as a matter of right, that's the only time you use the word bail eligibility is when somebody's not eligible for bail. You're determining if I'm eligible or not. Otherwise, you're just modifying the conditions. And that's where that whole thing got confusing. Can I look over Miller's shoulder and stuff? You're required to look. Not only can you, but you're required to, because you're required to do a de novo review. And because I'm not eligible, it needs to be a full evidentiary hearing where I can cross-examine witnesses and present evidence, and the state has to meet their burden of proof evident. And that's clear as day in this case law. And I don't know, like I said, I know Parvin's motion was a little bit wonky, and you needed, but somehow it got to the point where we're 31 days after a bail eligibility motion was filed, and I still haven't had my hearing. So 7 days, I mean, why would it need to be 7 days when all the rule says 7 days? The case law says 7 days. You're looking at the rule of procedure, but the case law says 7 days must be. And they remanded when it wasn't within 7 days. So I don't understand the confusion about it being within 7 days. It's literally a hearing de novo within 7 days because I'm not eligible as a matter of right. Okay. So I don't know why it keeps getting twisted just for me. And if you don't do it, it's misconduct at this point because you're blatantly disregarding the law.
So, Ms. Stiles, I would intend to set this Friday since the victims are here and they would have actual notice. I could set it on Friday afternoon.
So, Your Honor, first of all, we already argued this motion.
Right, but we argued it, and then I took it on advisement, and then Mr. Parvin withdrew it, so I didn't issue a ruling.
Yes, but we're still in the same. So, what are you asking? Is that another hearing so we can argue it again?
No, proof evident.
Because he's not entitled to a new. That was the whole point. He's not entitled. Would you like to speak, please?
Don't interrupt. Go ahead, Ms. Stiles.
He's not entitled to have another review. He cited zero case law or anything that says he's entitled to have another hearing on no bond. It's not happened. It doesn't happen. There's no case law supporting it. Under the Arizona Constitution, it's clear that once that finding is made, he is not eligible for bail. And under Rule 7.2, he is not eligible. It's not a discretionary thing for the court. Once that finding is made, it is a mandatory thing that once the proofs to be held without bond.
Right, but 7.4 C1 says on motion or on its own, a court may re-examine bail eligibility. So right now he's determined not bail eligible.
And if you go down a little bit to refer to the thing in I think it's maybe 4 or 5. The definition of 7.2 initially, and that's why it's all in my motion if you just pick it up and read it. I laid it out like a little map for grade school level. The 7.2 initially is only because you got to remember when I'm brought to court, right? I'm given my initial appearance. I still haven't even been charged with a felony at that point. I'm still, under the 10-day preliminary or I need to be indicted period. So the initial 7.2 finding, that's why it says until further order. Because it says that if the magistrate finds you at the initial appearance, he goes, that's the first test is probable cause that I committed a felony while I'm bond for a felony. Boom. That sets the first bail eligibility hearing where if they find you the proof evident or presumption great until further order, because that's not indefinite because you still have not even been charged with the felony. You've only been found that there's presumption or proof of a felony, and then you still have to get the preliminary hearing and actually be charged with the felony, or there's a supervening indictment and it's transferred to Superior Court, and that's what the first finding under 7.2 B1B holds you while they get you formally charged with the felony. Then once you're formally charged, that's why the reading of 7.21 says until further order. And guess what? Further order is it's transferred to a new court, and then the court re-examines bail eligibility and has to find the proof evident again. And that's where she's really confused, and I'm trying to be polite about it, but this is really elementary level stuff, and I'm not trying to diminish her or condemn, be condescending, but it's like, did you read the
Well, she hasn't read it. You just filed it today.
No, but I'm saying it's like she's a prosecutor with 14 years experience. This is literally like a matter of routine in every other court except this one apparently. But it's the reason you have to read the plain language. It says until further order.
Okay.
And then it
Mr.
gives
Myers,
the condition of when you can get a further order. And that's where we're at. Set the hearing, please.
Hold on. So you're criticizing everybody.
I'm trying not to criticize. I'm trying.
Hold on.
I'm not slick with I don't have a huge vocabulary, and most of my things I say are very direct.
Okay.
I'm trying to say in a polite way that I clearly have a right to have this re-examined. Don't tell me I didn't include case law, because the case law is right there, and she's the one telling me I got access to the law library. And now that I used it and proved what I'm trying to say, now suddenly it can't be both.
Okay, Mr. Myers, when it was filed before, I did have a hearing, and I was going to read all that stuff, but then your lawyer withdrew it. So
Because I
don't
wanted
criticize.
because I feel
So
he
Mr.
made it way too confusing.
Okay.
Let's just get back to basics. The rule says re-examine. And if I wasn't eligible, why would it say that the court even on its own could do it?
Okay, but you're criticizing everybody.
I'm trying not to criticize.
But
I'm trying to
I
preface
understand.
what I'm saying by saying, don't take this as criticism. I just speak very directly.
But you have to recall, I set a hearing, and I was going to read all this
Thank
stuff,
you.
but then your lawyer said that he was withdrawing that.
So now to argue it.
All right, now we're resetting this, and I'm inclined to set a hearing on
Thank you.
Friday. I have a trial next week, so I can't do it next week.
Thank
and
you, sir.
My law and motion day is filled up. So, I think we can argue what the standard review is on his motion for to review release conditions.
It's not that's the nomenclature. The legal nomenclature is re-examine bail eligibility.
Correct.
And when you take the nomenclature into modify release conditions, then you get away with, well, we don't need a hearing because we're just modifying the conditions. When you're re-examining bail eligibility, it has to be an evidentiary hearing where the state needs to provide proof evident, or not the state, but the state needs to present and you need to find.
Okay.
Proof evident or presumption great, which you want.
Ms. Alves, I'm inclined to set a hearing on Friday afternoon. We can argue this after I've read all the case law.
And Your Honor, the victim's not available Friday, and that was my next question. Was the problem? I think we have.
When would work?
Do we
better?
have a hearing Friday morning already in here?
I have.
Oh, that was the old one.
Um,
She's available that morning.
I have my morning calendar on Friday. We could do it
morning. So if we could do
Yeah, that's funny. Irish Prick said, human douche drippings trying to navigate a clearly biased court. They both make my taint itch.
I don't know if you have available at 10:30 or.
Don't get me wrong, guys. Lane really did screw up, but just to be very clear, it doesn't matter unless you're a well-established attorney. Most courts are going to be stacked against you, so just keep that in mind.
11.
Let's see how big my day is on Friday.
And then we got lower class citizen says his judge is very patient, to say the least. Yeah, he's kind of patient, but I would also argue that's probably because of YouTube. So
I'm gonna need that their disclosure ahead of the hearing.
I don't have a particularly big calendar on Friday. I only have two sentencing, so we could probably do it at 10:30 in the morning on Friday.
10:30 would be fine.
Okay. So we'll start the hearing at 10:30 on Friday. And Mr. Myers, if we get into something where we do need to take evidence, it may go beyond that. But
I know the last one went over.
Well,
yeah.
I'll go to noon. We're not going to do it in the afternoon.
I'm saying the last one took 2 days because we got right.
I just want to be clear. I think Mr. Myers is thinking that we're having a no bond hearing on Friday.
We are.
We're going to argue about whether you're entitled to it.
No. I'm entitled to it, and we need to have the hearing within 7 days.
We're having a hearing within 7 days, but it's not going to end within 7 days.
We're having the evidentiary hearing on Friday.
We're gonna argue on Friday whether is a right to an evidentiary.
No,
hearing.
we're arguing that right now.
No, because I haven't read your stuff yet.
You don't. There's nothing you need to read. It's if I request it, you give it to me. It's that simple. It's literally a matter of procedure.
I'm not going to be threatened like that.
It's not threatening. It's literally read the rule.
All right. So we're going to hit.
And this is where we were at earlier, guys.
I'm not.
Serious. If you're not going to follow the law, you have to recuse yourself.
I'm
not doing this with you.
All right. Now you're starting to get angry.
You're blatantly disregarding the law.
No, you filed this.
It's
Listen.
simple. It's a procedural thing.
So, Mr. Myers, Mr. Myers, you filed a
Get ready
motion.
for the crash
I haven't
out,
been able
guys.
to read it
Crash
yet.
out.
I'm setting a hearing on Friday, okay? And I'll have a chance to read all of this and read the cases. I don't know if you're right or not. You're saying that you're just you want me to assume that you're right. That's not the way.
No,
the
I want you to read
adversarial
I want you to read the rule of procedures and interpret them plainly.
Okay, I'm setting a hearing on Friday.
What are you going to do on Friday? We're going to argue whether I get a hearing or not.
Yes.
No, that's not the procedure.
Okay.
That's a violation of the Code of Judicial Conduct.
All right. You can file a complaint then.
Oh, you're going to get a lot of them.
All right.
So you're saying that we're not having the bail eligibility hearing within 7 days?
We're gonna argue about whether you're entitled.
No, there's
to
no
one.
arguing.
All right. We're going around in circles. I already said
when is the bail reexamination evidentiary hearing?
We got to see if you're entitled to one.
I'm entitled to one as a matter of right.
We're going in circles. All right.
No, you're doing this again, the same thing you did to Parvin.
We're going to have a hearing Friday at 10:30.
The evidentiary hearing.
No. I'll have read all your stuff. I'll have read the cases, and I'll tell you
So
whether
we're
you're
going to have the
entitled.
hearing on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
I have a trial next week.
Well, then how are we going to have it within 7 days?
Mr. Myers, we're going to come back.
No, you're going to follow the law, or you're going to get off this case.
No, I don't like the threats. It's not helping your case.
Is that a threat?
You're
threatening me now.
No, you're threatening me. You're telling me if I don't do what you want.
I'm telling you need to follow the law.
Okay, and I need to read what it is.
You don't know the law?
I don't know all these cases. I don't have every case
It's not
memorized.
case law. It's the rule of procedure.
We're done here. We'll see you Friday at 10:30 a.m. All right. Until then, we're adjourned.
No. I'm not coming on to Friday. I'm not.
And that was where Lane Myers finally got quieted down for a bit. So, let's hit this in between scene real quick. Alright guys, we're going to go back to the Chili getting absolutely trolled. So let's go back, take the ocean off. Alright, this should work.
So that I can say something to egg him on and get him to tell us more. But it's been a solid 5 minutes or more. He hasn't taken a breath, and I have not had to step in and try to get him to keep
If I
going.
don't stop right now, if I stole James Freeman's car and the drone appears in front of me, shit. They're showing me that they can see me. You're not going to get away. You're not going. There's no more getting away.
You see it right here. This is live, direct feed.
James, for the first time in the history of our country,
He doesn't even
the Bill of
know.
Rights could become a reality, where your rights actually are protected. So, I didn't want to get into the nuts and bolts of it, but no less than 7 people. 7. Me. Can you hear me? I still got you?
Yes, I can hear you. Your mic just got a lot more clear right when you said, "Can you hear me?"
Hold on one second. Let me fix something on my phone. I got people calling me, and I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, the audience is loving hearing about this.
That, I would argue, is the funniest part, is that as James is trolling Chili, he's got people actively trying to be good friends, calling him and just be like, Chili, dude, you're getting fucking trolled right now. And he even brings up, he goes, yeah, I got a lot of people calling me right now, but hold on, I gotta silence all these real quick so we can continue our conversation. And he has no clue.
I mean, I laid out a whole video of it called transparency. You guys, please stop texting me and calling me. Please stop.
You got trolls trying to kick you off the stream while you're divulging this information to people.
It's just please stop texting me and calling me. I'm busy.
Seriously, guys, leave him alone. Guys, I hope those aren't trolls from my channel. Guys, if you're watching my channel, quit trolling him.
Epic.
Quit trying to. He's trying to explain a system to you guys that is never even, I've never seen anything like this before. So seriously, leave him the hell alone. Chili, sorry, go on.
The phone. I don't know where my other phone went here. I wish you would. I wish. Will you? Hey Jay, stop calling me, bro. Stop calling me. So.
Thank you. Thank you, Chili.
So listen, I made a video called Transparency. You can watch it. I published it in Dallas. There's a picture of a guy with goggles on. He looks like the RoboCop looking person. But the difference is, transparency peace officers don't even carry a gun. There's no gun.
Nope.
There's no gun. He doesn't have a gun.
This is fucked
because
up.
behind every transparency peace officer is a guy in that trailer who can shoot, who can kill. 1 second.
No, don't leave.
Who has the ability to shoot, who has the ability to kill. Behind. So if I'm a transparency officer, obviously I now have protected here that the bullet is more likely to bounce off.
People keep trying to let Chili know he's getting trolled, and he's just getting pissed off thinking people are just trying to troll him and interrupt the stream, when in reality, they're just trying to let him know what's going on.
Or I could die. It's a dangerous job going in to stop a guy from beating his wife. It's a dangerous job.
Yeah.
If that does happen, then there's a guy behind me who is a shooter. None of us can deny that there's going to be some people who are crazy who want to go out in a blaze of glory. They got terminal cancer, and they always said they were going to go out with a blaze, and they're going to do it. I had a guy who worked in law enforcement, worked with law enforcement, who told me that if he ever got terminal cancer, he was going to kill me one day. And I said, well, I'm hoping for cancer.
They stick the whole boot on you.
So it is. But I laid out a whole system. It wasn't explained that great on the video called Transparency, but nobody watched it because there's no cop being audited. There's not James Freeman and Chili having a beef about who's right and who's wrong. I think James Freeman's right. He's right. This is not America. This is not what our founding fathers wanted.
So yeah, he's got friends calling him.
This is not the country that we're supposed to be living in. The Constitution's been killed. The Bill of Rights is dead.
Telling him, dude, you've been being trolled for 10 minutes straight. Shut up. But he can't.
I'm not a
He can't stop talking.
No matter what anybody says, I want to decentralize.
He can't stop talking.
I want to get rid of all prisons and all jails. They're gone. No more. When you get in trouble because you and breaking the flaw got in a fist fight, your education is right there in a portable near you. Right by you. And you have to pass a certain curriculum of English or Spanish or...
Oh, we just lost your audio, Chili. Oh, there you are. You're back.
Okay. 1 second.
Yeah, this is powerful stuff, man.
Are you serious? Or are you playing games with me?
Yeah, I mean, everyone says they've got ideas. But you've got ideas, and you're articulating them.
Yeah, I do. I really do. And
you got trolls trying to fuck with you now, or what?
It's never ending for me. Unfortunately, I have a two-sided coin. I think most people are gonna hear what I'm saying and realize that I'm an agent of change. And then the other side of the coin is I'm a total fraud and a hipster and all these things, even though I've had almost 3,000 sales in my store and 6 returns. So
yeah, what are you talking about? Like those cards and posters that you sell, and
yeah, that's how I make a living. That's how I make money. Good. By selling my products, selling my trifold that you put in your car, and when you get pulled over, you invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're able to make a living doing that.
Yeah, because I'm not James Freeman, buddy. Hold on 1 second.
What do you mean? You can't make money selling your wiener like James Freeman?
Hey, video creator, we know you. For you, it's about more than getting the job done.
Oh, I think we lost him.
No, people are telling me that you're just really making fun of me. someone's texting me right now saying that when I'm talking, you're just making fun of me. So
I'm right here in front of you, Chili.
I can't see it. I can't see your video.
You can't see it?
No, I don't have any video. I just got a picture.
How can you not see the video? We're on a video streaming. Oh, my video is on the stream. It's not on the
That's the third person who's just texted me and said you're just trying to make fun of me. Okay.
Are these your trolls or my trolls?
No, these are people who support me.
Oh, okay.
They're telling me you're making me look stupid. That you're just making fun of me. So you guys
Aww.
I mean, that's fine. You guys can make fun of me all you want. There's a lot of people.
Chili.
There's a lot of channels where people can hate me. Go to any of those channels if you want. I won't give you the names because I'm not.
That's so sad.
But there's a lot of people who hate me. If this guy's making fun of me, you know that's par for the course for me.
Why would I make fun of you given actual solutions with 360 Halo cams and peace enforcers?
Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know, James. I don't understand, to be honest with you. Hold on a second.
I mean, these ideas are revolutionary. Wow. I don't know why anyone would make fun of them.
1 second. 1 second. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just, you know what? They're revolutionary ideas. You know, you don't like them, you don't like them. But, you know, whatever. You know, nobody's really ever come up with these type of ideas of 360 Halo cams and you know, rights enforcers and drones and catch nets and pops. You know, nobody's come up with this stuff before.
Thanks. Okay, buddy. I got to get back to James Struthers. I got to get back to James Sheets, who was murdered in Struthers, and I got to try to continue to break down this video to try to show that, you know, if you wanted to, James, you could focus some of your audience over to the murder of James Sheets and take a look at those videos where we show that the gun is planted.
Okay, excellent.
You know, I would
that body cam video is up. I think AFA has it, right?
No, I don't think he does. It's on delete laws. I don't think anybody else is posted it yet.
Because AFA told me that he was the one that called you and pointed out that the gun got planted. I thought he had it on his channel.
Oh.
Oh, if he does, that's great. I literally have the only videos I've seen in the last couple days have been one of your videos, one of AFA's videos, and I saw one other person's Lackluster's. I think
Call
I saw
Chili
Lackluster's
out.
video, but I just listened to it in the background because I was doing other stuff. But yeah, James, you know.
Well, thanks for coming on the show and you know, divulging more of these ideas and the nuts and bolts of them and the pops and the nets and stuff.
Have a good night.
All right. Thanks, Chili. Man, you know, if you little snitches, hadn't gone and snitched, he would have gone on for probably 2 to 4 hours. I guarantee it. 2 to 4 hours if you guys hadn't have snitched. And we would have known all the details about the magical system that's going to make it so nobody ever gets hurt again. And you know what? That's not very nice. That's not very nice. You know, I think he had a lot more to offer still. I think he had a lot more to say and a lot more to offer, a lot more ideas to tell you about, a lot more pops, a lot more nets, a lot more drones. And, you know, some asshole in here went and told him that, oh, James is trolling you, blah, blah, blah. And now he's all upset and he thinks that I'm trolling him. What's up? Yeah, you got to turn mine off? Yeah, go for it.
Now, just so you guys know, that was not the first time that Chili got trolled by James. He got trolled another time, too, which, video's not up. Don't know where it went to, but I'm going to play one more for us before we end the live stream. Thank you all for being here for the test, but we're going to play this through. I'm not going to say much. because it's been years since I've seen this, but I figured you guys would find it funny. We'll get a 2-for-1 losers. Okay, so we have 2 losers on this one, okay? We've got Chili, and then we've got Bao. So we've got a double hit of losers here. Let's get the ocean to go off.
So my friend Chili, Mr. DiCastro, the person that was on the phone with you.
Yeah, he's a doozy, yeah.
He says every time they arrest him, he has to bend over and spread his butt cheeks.
Somebody made him do that?
He said 20 times. You should have asked him about it. It would have been glorious.
Was he here when they had the scanner? We have a scanner now.
A butt scanner?
No, sir. It's not a butt scanner.
You don't want to get physical with me. I'll take you down. I'm not going to get physical. I'll sweep your leg. I'll sweep your leg.
It's fake. It's a fake criminal record. Fake. It's all fake. Everything about me is fake.
Show me your driver's license. You have one?
Is that a requirement?
You have a driver's license.
Are you ordering me to do a thing?
If you're serious about print on demand, you need to try Kittle.
If you're
Kittle
serious
makes
about
it
the
so
print on
easy
demand,
to
you
find
buy my
perfect-
product, damn it. Buy
Sir,
my
I
product.
have a complaint to turn in. You are impeding the complaint process. You're violating multiple of my civil rights.
Peanut Butter 19. Bao's not blocked. Bao was put in timeout, I suppose, but he wasn't blocked. You know, I challenged Bao a moment ago to join me in the fundraiser for Christy Roan. So Bao, let's see what kind of man you are, really. Because so far, you know, you and I don't get along, and that's fine. But what kind of man are you, Bao? What kind of man are you?
Vic. And then I get an email. This YouTube guy called me out on a challenge.
To do what?
He's talking all this smack about getting Christy out of jail, and he challenges me.
Oh, he just did that to me.
I know. It's
He
just...
says he's got 4,000 listeners. I said, okay.
My name is Chili DiCastro. I'm an activist, and on the line right now with me are 400 people. I just want you to know that Christy Roan is pregnant. She has a baby in her stomach right now. Christy Roan has a baby in her. So she's been arrested for her kid's truancy, and I want you to understand that she has a baby in her stomach.
We had a lot of pregnant women over the years. I've been here 18 years. Tons of pregnant women. Women in wheelchairs. Women on crutches. You know, all that been down there. Okay?
You ever have any crackheads?
Oh, we got tons of those, but I'm just saying.
Her stomach. She can't be exposed to chemical sprays. She can't be tasered. She can't be roughhoused around. You have to be careful with Christy. She's pregnant. I just want to make sure that's known. That's all. We're going to get her out. And I need to know her bond amount.
Okay, well.
Thank you.
Sir?
Thank you.
Call back tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no, ma'am. I want to get her out today.
She can't be bonded out today, sir.
She's pregnant. She can't be in a dungeon while she's pregnant. Can I talk to someone?
Yes. You've been there 18 years, you say?
Yes, I have.
That's quite a career you have there.
Yeah, I know. I got more years than anybody in here. That's why I'm trying to explain to him about the court. It ain't got nothing to do with her being pregnant. I don't know. She's not in a dungeon, sir.
No. She's been arrested, right? She's in a jail cell?
I don't think she's in a cell either.
Okay, could you tell me where she is, please? There's thousands of people who are listening. They're going to be concerned about her safety. Everybody can hear you, ma'am. I'm just being transparent with you. We just want to get her out. I have no animosity towards you at all. I'm not mad at you at all.
Okay, well, I'm trying to explain to you, sir.
Okay.
You cannot be bonded out today.
Why?
Okay? Because you got to go to court. And since today is Saturday, it should have been like, if you call earlier maybe, when the clerk of courts was here around 9 o'clock this morning. she might have had a chance. But today is Saturday evening, and tomorrow is Sunday, and they don't release anybody until Monday, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You have a
You just have to wait till Monday, go to the courts, and find out what's up. We cannot let her out. That's it.
You have a pregnant woman in there that we just want to pay to get out. That's all.
Just because she's pregnant doesn't mean she's going to walk out and go. We also have another pregnant lady in here, okay? I understand what you're saying, but she cannot be released today. Okay?
Find it out.
You need to stop saying dungeon. She's not in a dungeon. She's in a clean place down there. It's not a dungeon, okay?
That's hilarious.
Do you have? But I just told him the truth.
The dispatch girl calls
We cannot
Chili
let her
out,
out,
bro.
sir. You have to wait for the courts. I
Correct.
explained him all about the courts. He said he kept screaming about her being in a dungeon and a cave. And I'm like, dude, we don't have dungeons. We don't have caves.
She didn't hurt anybody. There's nobody hurt from what Christy did.
Whatever they did get locked up, but I'm saying is, even if you knew what her bond is, she cannot be bonded out till Monday. That's how it is, Doc. That's it. I'm trying to tell you the truth. You're not.
Okay, ma'am. I'm sorry. I just don't understand. So I heard what you said, though, and I do thank you, and I appreciate it. And please look out for her because there's a lot of people who care about her, and she's got 5 kids.
I never heard of dungeon and caves and.
Preposterous, I
I'm
say.
like, where is this cat calling from, and what is he on? But I respectfully, I answered him really nice and told him the truth.
Well, did they say?
Hey guys, to be fair though, isn't it funny how Bao wanted to make fun of Chili about the whole imposter thing, but Bao had zero problem swallowing the load from For Public Safety about all of his bullshit? Oh yeah, For Public Safety, he's innocent. Oh yeah.
Say there's no bond?
I just said you're going to have to call either Monday for that to get. Even if you know a bond, you still can't get out until Monday.
Why does someone have to live in a dungeon because they get arrested? Why can't they be bonded out?
I think you need to stop saying dungeon. She's not in a dungeon. She's in a clean place down there. It's not a dungeon, okay? We don't have dungeons here.
Do you have a map?
You know what a dungeon is, right?
Someone's
It's
calling them
under a building, dirty and all that stuff. We ain't got a dungeon. This is a facility. It's like a dormitory down there. They got microwaves so they can heat up food and stuff like that. They got TV. They can watch movies. What is he talking about, a dungeon? They have a phone. They can call out, collect. And it's clean. There is no, that's what I'm saying. He's telling people, oh, she's in the dungeon, she's in the cave. We ain't got that here.
Do you have a mattress for her to sleep on so she's comfortable?
Yes. She's on 2 mattresses. Okay, she's pregnant.
And do you have the proper nutritious food so she can have food in her belly while she's pregnant inside of that cage?
Then he says, well, is she on a mattress? Yeah, she's on 2 mattresses. She's in the dormitory area down there. Clean sheets, blankets, 3 square meals a day with milk. And he's screaming about she needs to be home with her kids. I said, well, you know, sir, there's a lot of women down there that got kids too.
Okay, ma'am. How does she have no bond? I mean, educate me so that I just understand. I know that when they put a warrant in, they give her a certain particular charges. How is there not an ankle monitor availability or some way that she can be at home with her 5 children? Displacing her 5 kids from her is a very big deal. She's a mother to 5 children.
Yes, that really upset them.
Well, I'm sorry it upset you. It's the truth.
Yeah.
I said, even if she has a bond, sir, we, the jail, cannot let her out. The courts let her out.
Yes, it brought him to tears.
Well, I'm sorry. I just told him the truth.
Okay. So then I understand, and I do appreciate you educating me. Thank you so much. I just want to say, so that means right now that someone can write a warrant for your arrest, ma'am, and then you go to day arrest you on a Saturday, and then whether or not you're guilty of the crime or not, you will spend 2 days in jail because a cop wrote up a warrant and gave it to a judge and the judge signed it. So that means you're going to spend 2 days in jail even if you're innocent. Is that correct?
That means she didn't do something she's supposed to do.
Okay, all right, that makes more sense now.
Yep, there's something that, she was supposed to do something and she didn't do it.
Okay.
Can I just ask you one tiny little favor and then I'll let you go because I know you're busy. Will you please just let her know that I called and that I'm on it and that I'm not going to let up until she's out and I'm not going to stop until we have an attorney for her, okay? Will you just let her know that I called? Pretty please.
Did you ever get the message to her? Do you actually deliver messages? Or do you just tell them, yeah, I'll get the message and just laugh at them and hang up?
That has to go through proper authority to get that message to her. I just can't do that.
Yeah, so you're not even gonna go.
Well, just a little, if she just knows that, if she knows that we're going to crowdfund her bond and we're going to crowdfund her lawyer, it will give her hope and that will irradiate into the baby and the baby will feel the hope and that's all I care about. Okay? I really appreciate you. Thank you for your time and thank you for educating me today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Everything got to go to the court.
Okay.
Make sure you do it Monday, okay?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
I believe he doesn't believe in the law.
Okay, well, then that's why they probably tell him to spread his butt cheeks, because he ain't believing the law. I ain't never heard of that. That's funny as hell. No offense.
Wait, what?
No disrespect. That's crazy.
Everybody should take their finger and hit my butthole. My butthole. Won't have any man look up my ass. Now, everybody take your finger, the 900 people, and reach down, hit my ass. My ass. Won't have any man look up my ass. I said, what? Up my butt? I said, what? Up my butt? Over and over and over again. You know, I'll even let you get on top a couple times. Everybody should take their finger. Everybody should take their finger and hit my butthole. Man, that's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite.
Shit. Dummy Kruger doing some funny edits.
Everybody should take their finger. Everybody should take their finger and hit my butthole. Man, that's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite.
Then that's why they probably tell him to spread his butt cheeks, because he ain't believing the law. I ain't never heard of that. That's funny as hell. No offense.
Wait, what?
No disrespect. That's crazy.
Everybody should take their finger and hit my butthole. My butthole. Won't have any man look up my ass. Now, everybody take your finger, the 900 people, and reach down, hit my ass. My ass. Won't have any man look up my ass. I said, what? Up my butt? I said, what? Up my butt? Over and over and over again. You know, I'll even let you get on top a couple times. Everybody should take their finger. Everybody should take their finger and hit my butthole. Man, that's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. How's that even a thing? I'm so angry right now. I don't even know how to. I can't even describe the amount of anger that I'm feeling right now.
He's so angry right now.
I can't even. I can't. It's.
Hey, Lucid said he wants to irradiate a baby. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord help me.
How's that a thing? How is that a thing? How's that a thing? How's that a thing? How is that possible?
No disrespect. That's crazy. Wow.
Oh my God! I think you're right. That's why I'm laughing. I think you're possibly right. I think you're onto something.
Yeah, well, I hope he gets it better, whatever. But okay. Now tell him no call back again, because then I would have to turn him in for harassment.
Hell yeah. I know where he's
Okay.
at. If you want to arrest him, I can tell you exactly where he's at. We have him tracked like a great white.
No, I'm just saying he needs to cut that out because he can get arrested for harassment. Now, I
I'll
told him everything
testify.
that's what.
I don't mind testifying.
Okay, I told him what was what. If he calls back again, I have to turn him into the sheriff's department. See,
Yes,
because all the stuff he was talking was kind of crazy. Yeah, pass the word along to him. If he calls here again, complaining or putting 4,000 people on lines to hear what he got to say, it's called harassment, and he will get, the sheriff's department will hunt him down and bring him in.
Heck yeah. Would we get the U.S. Marshals as well? That would make a good manhunt.
If they have to, that's just, you can't be doing that. I just told him, wait till Monday. If he keeps calling back and, because he's concerned about her, which is, he's making it worse for her.
You know he's a fugitive, right?
He's a fugitive.
Yes, ma'am. He's on the run right now.
What's his name?
His name is Chili
he told me his name was De Castro. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
If you look online, Chili De Castro. He's on the run from Ironton, Ironton, Ohio. You know where that is?
Oh, bow snitched. Bow snitched. Bow snitched.
What?
Ironton. You ever heard of Ironton, Ohio? Ironton.
No, Ironton. How you spell it? Ironton?
Yes, ma'am. Exactly how you spell it.
Okay.
He's got 3 warrants, and they want him.
Bow snitched. Bow snitched.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Bow's a snitch.
Ironton, Ohio.
Ironton.
Ironton, got it.
It's all over the internet, so you can search it all over the YouTube. So, I mean, it's pretty public.
Well, if he's doing all that, why is he boldly getting on the internet with 4,000 people and complaining?
I believe.
How is that a thing? How is that a thing? How's that a thing? How's that a thing? How is that possible?
Wow, guys, it's kind of all starting to make sense now. Maybe that's why Bao gets along with For Public Safety so well. You know, snitches gotta stick together, my dude. Snitches gotta stick together. So, with that being said, guys, hey, we hit 2 hours. This was the first vertical live stream test. And I'm not gonna lie, I appreciate all 43 of you guys in here, but did kind of fall on its face pretty bad. So, I'll check the vertical plugin, make sure all this stuff's right, and we'll do this again in the future, guys. But until next time, guys, this was Jeremy with Brain Rot, and this was the Brain Rot live test. Y'all have a good night.